So, you live in Bulverde with your dog, and you already know, life here is just a little different, right? Training a dog in this area means getting them ready for the unique environment we have in the Texas Hill Country. Let's walk through a really practical guide to find the perfect trainer for you and your best friend.
Here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll get into what makes training in Bulverde so specific. Then, we'll figure out what all those trainer credentials actually mean. After that, we'll help you find a program that fits your needs, go over the questions you've got to ask, and finally, we'll cover some local rules and resources.
All right, first things first. Let's talk about training a dog for what life is actually like here in Bulverde. It's really about preparing them for the kinds of things you're both going to run into every single day in this part of Comal County.
And this is a really key point. You know, basic obedience is always a great start, but for your dog to be truly safe and happy here in the Hill Country, they need a more specialized set of skills.
I mean, just think about how specific these are to our area. You absolutely need a dog that will come back to you in a split second, even when a deer flashes by. They've got to be cool and collected around livestock, and walking on those narrow country roads, well, that requires some seriously good leash manners for everyone's safety. It's all about teaching them to stay focused and make good choices when there are so many distractions around.
So how do you find the right person to teach these skills? Let's move on and break down what a trainer's credentials mean so you can feel confident you're picking a qualified professional.
Okay, so the foundation of modern, effective dog training is something called positive reinforcement. All it means is rewarding the behavior you want to see more of. The entire goal is to build a relationship based on trust, not on fear. Honestly, it's safer, it works better in the long run, and it makes training way more fun for you and your dog.
You know, Texas doesn't actually require trainers to have a license, so these certifications are how you can tell if someone is serious about their profession. Acronyms like KPA-CTP or CPDT-KA tell you they've really put in the time to learn about general training. Now, if you're dealing with more complex stuff, certifications like IA-BCC-DBC or CBC-CKA show they have a much deeper understanding of animal behavior.
All right, so now you know what to look for in a person. Next up, let's find the right type of training program that actually fits your goals and, of course, your budget.
So your two most common options are usually group classes or private lessons. Group classes are awesome for practicing focus with other dogs and people around, and they're usually easier on the wallet. But if you're trying to work on things that mostly happen at home, you know, like barking at the fence or jumping all over guests, then private in-home lessons are fantastic because they can be tailored exactly to your space and your dog's specific habits.
Okay, let's talk about the cost. Here's a pretty good idea of what you can expect to pay in the Bulverde and Greater Comal County area. Group classes are often a great starting point. Private lessons are more per session, but they're very focused. And for really intensive work, board and train programs are a much bigger investment. Oh, and one more thing. A lot of trainers who serve Bulverde are coming from San Antonio or New Braunfels, so it's always smart to ask if there are any travel fees.
This next part is your action plan. When you're ready to start talking to potential trainers, being prepared is everything. Think of this as your checklist to have a great consultation.
First, you want to make sure their whole training philosophy feels right to you. It's also so important to ask about their specific experience with hill country challenges. Like, what's their approach for a dog that goes nuts over deer? A good trainer should be able to clearly explain how they'll create a custom plan for you, how they'll measure progress, and what you'll need to do between sessions to make sure all that hard work actually sticks.
Now, let's connect all this training to your actual day-to-day life in Bulverde. We'll look at some local rules and a few really great places where you can practice all your new skills.
This is probably one of the biggest questions people have, especially in unincorporated areas like a lot of Bulverde is. What are the real rules about leashes?
Well, here's the straight answer. While Bulverde itself doesn't have a specific city leash law, Texas state law is what counts. And that law says your dog has to be restrained and under your control. That means they can't just be running loose in a way that could threaten people, livestock, or wildlife. And that's why having a rock-solid recall isn't just a nice skill, it's a legal and practical must-have.
Beyond that main rule about control, here are a few other things to keep on your radar. Rabies vaccinations are required by the state, period. Constant barking can become a formal nuisance complaint, which is a big deal in rural areas where sound really travels. And as for paperwork, Comal County doesn't make you get a separate license. Just make sure that current rabies tag is on your dog's collar.
So where can you go to put all this training to the test?
Bulverde Community Park is perfect for practicing polite on-leash walking. If you want a bigger challenge, the trails at Government Canyon are amazing for building focus with tons of real-world distractions. And the parks around Canyon Lake are ideal for teaching your dog to stay calm near water and big crowds.
And when it comes right down to it, this is what it's all about. Taking the time to find the right professional isn't just about fixing a behavior problem. It's about making your relationship with your dog better and making your life together more peaceful and a whole lot more fun.
So as we wrap up, just think about this for a second. Imagine taking those beautiful, peaceful hikes without worrying about your dog yanking your arm off at every squirrel. Picture having friends over without all the chaos at the front door. Or just being able to relax in your own yard knowing your dog is going to stay put. A well-trained dog isn't just a great companion, they're a great neighbor. And that lets both of you really enjoy everything that makes life here in Bulverde so special.